So that's about the search interface. Now let's go get into the fourth type of controller, which is a controller extension. Okay, so we have already discussed about three different types of controllers: the standard controllers, the standard list controllers, and the custom controllers. Now we are going to discuss about a fourth type of controller, which is called controller extension. So as the name suggests, it is used more like as an extension to an existing controller. Okay, so if you have a Visualforce page which is already using a controller and you want to extend the functionality of that page, you can use an extension. Does that make sense? Simple thing. Now if you are wondering that if I want to extend the functionality, why would I not use a new controller? There can be several reasons for that. Let's say you have already created a class and then you already have certain functionalities on your Visualforce page coming from that class. Let's say there are 5 methods in the class and those 5 methods are being called on the Visualforce page. Okay, now after a month of development and deployment and stuff like that, you realize that you need 2 more functionalities. Okay, but you actually do not want to go and mess up with the actual class. You think that that is working fine, let me not do anything on that. I would just include 2 more functionalities, or just imagine someone else created that class and you do not want to get into the complexities of that. You just need 2 additional functionalities or 2 more methods. So don't you think it would be a good idea that instead of touching the actual class, just leave it as it is and go ahead and create 1 more small class and use it as an extension, right? So it makes life easier for a developer that so that he does not have to get into the original class every now and then and make changes on that. Fine. So that is one area where you can use an extension. The other place where you can use an extension, think about it. If you are using a standard controller, you have created a page which uses a standard controller. Standard controller means default controllers created by salesforce.com and which are by default available to us. Now if I'm using a standard controller and I'm required to put some additional functionalities on my page, then what do I do? For standard controller, I never have that option of editing the controller. Can I do that? No. But I need 2 more functionalities on the same page. Then what will you do? Use an extension. Fine. So that is the logic. If you are using a standard controller and you need some additional functionalities, you are not very happy with what has been provided by standard controller, create an extension. If you're using a custom controller and you actually do not want to go back and make changes or add more methods in the same class, the reason can be anything. You can have a reason like you do not have access to change that, or the other reason can be you do not want to actually go and make changes in that. Someone else is the owner of that class and is making changes on that. You actually do not want to get into the complex code which is already there. So reason can be anything, but point is, if you are not willing or you are not getting into the actual controller, custom controller code, you always have an option of writing an extension and using it. All right. So let's do this. Let's say I already have a page with standard controller. So let me go to some standard controller page and create an extension and use it. In the initial pages that we created had all standard controllers. So now this is a standard controller page, right? This is a page which is using a standard controller account and bringing in data and displaying that. All right. Now along with this page, just imagine I want my custom method to bring in some information or data into this. So I cannot go and do any logic change or code inside this controller, standard controller. So what I have to do, I have to create an extension. So what is an extension? Extension is also defined as a class and called on Visualforce page as an extension. So there is one more attribute in the Apex page component which is called extension. See, so you should call your extension here. You should define the class and call the extension here. Okay, so first of all, let's define an extension and then I will call it here on the same page. So just go ahead and create an Apex class. So this is exactly the way you create a class for a controller, no difference. Public class E1 and we define, let's say, I'm using a simple example, string hello, how are you? Now if that is what we have written, and if I define a get method for this, public string get hello, okay. So this is the class that we have created, exactly the way we create a class for a custom controller, right? So you create this class and there's one more line of code that you have to do. You just have to define a constructor. So you just go ahead and say public E1 apex pages dot standard controller thing. Okay, so just that you have to define it as a standard controller of a, as an extension of a standard controller page. That's it. Once you have done this, now you can go ahead and call E1 as an extension. So I have a method here called getHello, right? Now if I try to call this hello method here, it throws error because it does not recognize what is this hello. But if you write extension here, if you call that class as an extension here, extension name is E1, right? And that's it. Now you can call the methods defined in the class. So your standard controller part is working exactly fine, intact, the way it works. And in addition to that, you can define your custom methods as well. Right? Simple. So let's say, I will talk about one more example on the same lines. Let's say we created this Visualforce page, right, with all the tabs. I'll tell you a practical requirement that we received from one of the clients. So it's a very simple requirement. Try and understand this. We have created a page in the page I have a details tab, contacts, opportunities, cases. Okay, contacts, opportunities and cases are the related lists, which means contacts under the same account, opportunities under the same account and cases under the same account are being displayed. We have called them as related lists, right? And this is a standard controller page. We have used a standard controller here. Okay, we have used a standard controller here. Now we came across a situation, the client actually wanted to display to have one more tab here and wanted to display campaigns under that. Okay, the reason why they wanted to do it is the sales team used to call the clients and invite them for the campaigns. This client used to do some live seminars and they used to invite people to come and attend the seminar. Now the moment they called these people, called the clients, sometimes the clients used to ask that if I'm not able to make it to this seminar, when is the next seminar? They used to inquire about more information on the campaigns, on the other seminars, right? Now we definitely have a campaign tab which is here. So they always had an option of going to that campaign tab and then making checking and answering. But it was not very good solution because moving away from this page and then coming back to this page and updating the information, that used to take a lot of time, right? If you're talking with IBM, you have all the details, you would prefer that if we can have something related to campaigns on the same page, it will be a good idea, right? But now the problem is that campaigns are not connected to account. There is no connection between the campaigns and accounts. Like contact and account are related. That is the reason why I can call it as a related list. Opportunity and account are connected, related. So I can call opportunities as a related list. Cases and account connected. There's a relation. So I can call them as a related list. But unfortunately, there is no connection between campaigns and accounts. There is no relation between campaigns and accounts. So I cannot call the campaigns here using the standard controller, because standard controller, the simple logic, standard controller is account. So which means anyone, just think about this. So anyone who has to come on this page has to be related to account in some way. Okay, it's his party, so he just invites his family, friends, guests who are related to him. So he does not allow anyone else to come inside that. Okay. Now campaign, because it's not connected to the account anyhow, okay, so campaign which is not connected to the account, in case I want to bring that data on this page, then what do I do? Then I'll have to use a custom method for that, because standard controller is not capable of fetching the campaign data. So let's do that. It's very, very simple. You just don't have to do anything. You just have to go write an Apex class. I want anyone to give me 5 fields from the campaign object. There's a standard campaign object. I just want 5 fields, any 5 field names from the campaign object, anyone. In the meanwhile, I'm just writing the class. And the first 5 fields, the people who suggest first 5 fields will have bonus points in the test that we're going to conduct next week. Okay, so we start writing the class. I want to display, I want a method to return the list of campaigns. So my data type should be list of campaign call it anything camps and then write the code. So whatever, select, we have name, budgeted cost. Okay, these are all correct field names, na? name, I think there's something called description, there is start date, sorry, yeah, so I think we have name, description, start date, end date, budgeted cost, actual cost, status. All right. From campaign. So this is what we needed. Thank you. Don't know how many of them are correct, but we'll just go with this. Then we will write the get method for it. So as simple as how the way we have done it earlier. So it should return the list of campaign, get camps method, return camps. That's it. And definitely the constructor line. Fix pages dot standard controller. Okay. Done. So all the field names are correct. That's nice. So now what I can do is I can just call this extension on the page, on my page, and then I can call this method for the list of campaigns. That's it. So what should we do here? Okay, Navita says O is capital here, right? This complete Visualforce and Apex are case insensitive. So even if we write a small letter, capital letter does not make a difference. Overall Apex and Visualforce. So that's a liberty that we have. I mean, ideally we should write the correct, what is that called? We should write it small or capital. We should not mix the cases, but it's case insensitive. That's good. Okay, so now what I need here, first of all, I need to call the extensions E2, that's there. Next thing, I need a tab here, and on that tab I will call the campaigns. It's tab. Inside the tab there should be a page block table, value, camps, variable C, Apex, column, value, C dot name, or whatever data you want to display here, name, description, there's name, there's description, then what is there, start date, end date, no type here, budgeted cost, actual cost, and status. Okay, right. So this tab is not getting value. See, all other tabs, like if you talk about cases data is coming through related list component. So because it's something which is related to account, but campaigns is not related to account. So its data is directly coming from the controller extension. Okay, the class that we have written. Okay, we have to give a label to the tab, the last tab, campaigns. We should also give, no, not here. Tab should have a label. Label to the tab, call it campaigns, and label width also, maybe 200. That's it. Okay, now because it has come from the from the controller thing, if you click on the campaigns, you see the data is there in the campaigns. There is no data in the details. Why there is no data in the details? Because it's a standard controller. I have not supplied the ID yet, right? So there is no data in the contacts because there is no ID, right? These are dependent on the ID, but this campaign thing, that is coming from my class, right? So it already has data. So it doesn't make a difference to us. So when the user logs into this page, he gets the details. He can look into the contacts on this. He can look into opportunities, cases, campaigns. So if you are the end user and if you are talking to the client and you're talking about some opportunity here of the same client, or maybe some case of that client, maybe the details of the client, whatever. So in that case, and the client is asking you for the campaign details, what is this, which seminar you're going to do next month and stuff like that, you can quickly have a look onto this, come back into this. You don't have to move out of this page. Got it? So a good example of a controller extension, right? The rest everything is same. So just the concept part is different. So the concept that we're talking about here is different. Apart from that, there is no other difference. The way we have used custom controller, the same way extension are also used. Just that an extension will only be used when you already have a controller in place, and you just want one additional class to have one or two methods. Okay, clear? Controller extension concept is clear with us? We are okay on that? So an extension can be used with standard as well as custom controller. Okay, extension can be used with any type of controller. So going back to the controllers, so let's quickly see what all controllers we have seen. Standard controller, standard list controller, custom controller, and standard list, custom, and controller extension. These are the 4 different types of controllers that we have discussed. Okay, now I have a few questions for you, very quick questions. Chandra, can you tell me the difference between standard and standard list controller?
Sorry, what was the question, Ji?
Difference between standard and standard list controller. Chandu needs to answer. Chandu, you there? Hello? Not there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Chandu. So what is the difference between standard and standard list controller?
Standard controller is the thing where in which we can enter one by one records, and standard list is the thing where we have in detail, I mean all entire list.
Okay. And now Anju will tell me what is the difference between standard and custom controller. Anju, you there? Okay. Sonu, difference between standard and custom controller?
In standard controller, we use the standard objects like accounts, opportunities, which are already existing in Salesforce, whereas in custom controllers, we can define our own class.
You can define our own methods, right? Okay.
Methods, yes.
Everything is correct apart from one small thing that you said. We use standard objects. It's not standard objects. We use the standard controllers defined by Salesforce. Okay. So it's not only for standard objects, it can be for custom objects also, right? You can call a custom object also as a standard controller.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's my mistake. Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
Sridhar, to tell me difference between custom controller and the extension, fresh thing that we just discussed. Sridhar, if you don't know the answer, please say pass. Okay, yes Sridhar, please go ahead.
Pass.
Okay, Navyata, you want to try?
Yeah, custom controller are which we define our own methods.
Custom controller is where we define our methods, absolutely correct.
Yeah, controller extension are we define our methods and which are used in standard controllers.
Okay. Can you just repeat once again? Sorry, I could not hear that clear.
Okay, custom controllers are our own methods. Which
That
we
I
create
understand.
Yeah, controller extensions are which we create an extension from standard controllers.
Okay. So it's correct, but again, small correction there. It's not only used along with standard controller, it can be used with a custom controller also. Got it? So just remember the word extension. So extension means extending the functionality of an existing controller. Got it?
Yeah.
You know where we use extensions now, extension wires. If your laptop charger is, laptop adapter is not that long, then what do? You use an extension cord. So that's it. So if my controller, existing controller is not capable of handling all the functionalities I need, I can include an extension controller. Okay, and it can work good with standard as well as custom controller. All right. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we will get into this. We have understood about the controllers. So there are 4 different types of controllers. We just talked about it, and we also understand that use of each type of controller. So if you just don't want to write any code and you feel that you can manage the page with the standard functionalities, and you have to display one record on the page, then standard controller. So basically standard controller is more used for detailed pages. And for the standard pages also you must have seen there are pages where you see the detail of one record, and there are pages where you see list of records. So if you are trying to design a detailed kind of a page, then use a standard controller. All right. If you are trying to display multiple records on the same page, then use a standard list controller. Okay. But again, standard list controller does not allow you to write your own code and logic. If you are trying to write your own controller, if you're trying to write your own logics, own methods, then use a custom controller. And if you are using a standard or a custom controller already on a page, so you have a page which already uses a standard or a custom controller, but you still want to extend the functionality of it with your own methods, then use a controller extension. As simple as that. Okay. So now we will get into one more thing, very important part, which is how do we call these Visualforce pages. Okay, so calling the Visualforce pages. So far we have seen how to create the Visualforce pages, right? So there are a few ways of calling these Visualforce pages and using them. So we are going to learn that now. The first one is overriding standard display page. Okay, so what you can do is you can use a Visualforce page to override the standard display page. Right? We already have seen that there are so many pages already created by Salesforce.com. So the standard detail page can be overridden by the Visualforce page. Okay, so Visualforce page can function as a replacement to the standard detail page for an account or contact or anything, right? So which means now if I click on account, if you go to accounts, the Visualforce page, to you supply the name of the page and all that stuff. And generally, if you click on an account and if you go and click on the name of an account, what happens? Details of that account open up. Okay, and this is a standard page. This is something that you have not created. This is a standard Salesforce page, right? In case you want to override this standard page using your Visualforce page, then what you should do? It's very simple. You just need to go to setup, customize accounts, because in this case I'm actually gonna override the account page. You should go to account, then click on buttons, links and actions, and there is a page called view page. View page, see, there's page for everything. There's page for new record, there's page for list of records, there is page for delete record, there's page for edit record. But which page are we concerned about in this case? We are talking about the view page, the detail page, the one that shows the details of the record. Okay, right now it's a standard Salesforce.com page. I will just go and replace it with the Visualforce page that I have created. So you can use any Visualforce page. I'm using V4. Save it. Now if you go, if the end user goes and clicks on an account, that account will open with the Visualforce page template. See, automatically the account opens on the Visualforce page template. Fine. So no more supplying the ID and stuff. We were supplying the ID just to create the page and learn the basics, but no more supplying the ID from our site. Got it? It's simple, very, very simple thing. Okay. So for detail page, what you can do is you can override the existing page. For the list page, if you have a list page, you can always, if you have a list page or if you have a custom controller page, you can always create a tab for that page. Okay. How do you create a tab? You can go to setup, create tabs. Remember we created tabs earlier for the objects, custom objects. You can also create a tab for a Visualforce page. Just go to create tabs, scroll down. You will see you have an option of creating Visualforce tabs. Okay, just create a new tab. Which page you want to use for the tab? Select that. Let's say V9. Give a tab label, my page, whatever name you want to give, and select a tab style. That's it. So, but this cannot be used for detail page. This should be used for a list page, or something which is using the custom method. Okay. So let me just save this. See, a tab got created with my page. Hello, how are you? So this is a controller, custom controller page which comes onto this. So it could have been any other page, right? But it cannot be a standard controller page. It can be a standard list controller, but it should not be a standard controller page. Why? Because if you put a standard controller page, then the ID does not come. Record ID does not come, right? So standard controller page is best used for overriding the view page. While you're creating a tab page should be a generic page, not a a page for a specific record, right? So that is what we should be using here. So coming back to the PPT, We see overriding standard display page. Okay. Creating a tab. So two options we have already seen. You can also embed a page on a standard layout. So you can put a Visualforce page inside a standard layout. Page layout we have seen now. So if you want to keep the standard page layout and you just want to insert or embed your Visualforce page as a part of it, that can also be done. So for that it's pretty simple. We just have to go to the page layout side, go to setup, customize accounts, because we are dealing with accounts here. Go to the page layouts, click on edit, exactly the way we have done the page layout thing. You have an option of page Visualforce pages here, right? You can insert or embed the Visualforce page by dragging and dropping it inside this standard page. Let me put it as a section here, one column section, okay. And you can drag the V2 Visualforce page inside this. Now what will happen? This page, standard page also stays here, and a section is created for your Visualforce page, right? So if you just don't want the entire Visualforce page to be used, but just a small part of the page to be used as displaying the components from Visualforce, that can also be done. So that is also doable. Correct? So you can embed a page on a standard page layout. But again, because we are talking about entering a page inside the standard layout, this is also applicable for the standard controller pages, right? Because page layout does not work with anything else. So this is applicable only for the standard controller pages where we are talking about single record. Okay. So three ways we have seen. The fourth one is you can create a button that links to a Visualforce page. So apart from doing this, what you can do is you can also create a button that takes you to a Visualforce page. Okay. So we have an option of creating a custom button that takes us to the Visualforce page. So let me come out of this layout. I'm not saving it. We did an override, right? We have done an overriding of the Visualforce page. That's what we did. Now what is happening? The moment I open this Edge Communications, it opens in this format, in my Visualforce format, right? Now your client comes to you and says that no, we don't want this to open in the Visualforce page format. We want it to open in the standard Salesforce format with an option to open it in the Visualforce page format. Got that? You can have that requirement. Now what is happening? By default it's opening in the Visualforce page format. My client comes to me and says no, I don't want this. I want it to by default open in the Salesforce format only, the standard one, and it should have a button which can take us to the Visualforce page format. So we'll try and do that. So it's very simple. So first of all I should go and reset it to the default standard page. So customize accounts, button links and actions. Click on edit for the view page and make it no override. So it is reset to the actual salesforce.com standard page. That part is done. Now if I try to open an account, it will open in the standard format as usual. It opens in the standard format. Okay. Now I have been asked to create an option so that I can go and open the page in the Visualforce page format also. So what we'll need to do, we'll just need to create a custom button for that. So you should go to setup for that. Go to setup, customize accounts, click on buttons, links and actions, and create a new button. Okay, click on new button. So this time I'm not editing the existing page, I'm creating a new button and I call it a tabbed view. So this tabbed view button should allow me to view the data in the tab format. Okay, that's it. Give it a name and a label. What is the source of the content? Should it open in a new window or in the existing window with sidebar? Let it be in the existing window with sidebar. Source is a Visualforce page. Which Visualforce page you want to open? I want to open V4. That's it. So I've created a button which will open this Visualforce V4 for me. That's it. Save it. Button created. Okay. This button will not be visible to the end user till the time you do not put it in the page layout. So then you have to just go to the page layout, click on edit and bring in the custom button. So the custom buttons are listed here. Custom buttons. Hello. Yeah, you can hear me now? Okay. So we have created the button, okay, and we will just go and put it in the page layout. So you just need to go to the page layout of accounts, click on edit, go to the buttons. You have a button called tabbed view which we just created. Let's bring it here, put it here. Now this button becomes a part of the standard page. The end user can click on this and go to the Visualforce page. So just save it. Now by default this button will also appear on the standard page. This will take you to the Visualforce page. When you click on tabbed view, it will take you to the Visualforce page. Okay, so these are 4 different ways of calling the visual force page, or pointing to the visual force page. The first one was overriding the standard page. Second one is creating tab for it. Third one was embedding a visual force page inside a standard page, and the fourth one is create a button to take you to the visual force page. So these are the 4 different ways of doing that. All right. So just have a quick look onto